Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to Adobe Live. I'm your host, Fabiola Lara. Today on the stream, we're back once again with Josh Olufemii. He's a brilliant director, cinematographer, and YouTuber. How are you doing today, Josh? How are you feeling about day two?
Doing great, Fabiola. I'm excited. Just waking up. It's 6 a.m. here, but I'm ready to
Yeah, you're getting to
jump
work
into this
early
edit.
today. Yes. A quick little reminder for everyone, please subscribe to our new Adobe Live channel on YouTube to stay up to date on the latest streams, participate in the Adobe Live community, and so much more. Plus, remember, if you missed the previous stream, you can view the replay on Behance or YouTube. So check out Carolyn Surrett as she designs creative posters in Illustrator and Photoshop. Now, I don't care where you're tuning in from, whether it be YouTube or Behance. Remember, you can drop your questions for Josh in our chat. Drop them, and we'll be sure that Josh answers them for you. Now, Josh, before we get started, let's see who we have in here. We have Jack, we've got Katarina. Everyone's ready for day two here. So why don't you do a little quick reintroduction and then tell us where we're getting started today?
All right, what's up, guys? So my name is Josh Olufemii. I've been teaching video production, mostly post-production on YouTube for maybe about 6 years, 7 years. This is our YouTube channel. It's just called Olufemii. We have I think 5 teachers at this point. You guys could check it out for a lot of short form video, post-production info. We do everything. We interview tons of people. We have a lot of fun.
Amazing videos. I was checking them out. They're super informative, and it makes this whole stream even better because now we get to watch your work in real time as opposed to like your YouTube videos that are glossy and edited. Here we get to see like the true workflow. So what are we doing today
Exactly.
from compared to yesterday? Bring us back to this project here.
So we're going to go back a little bit. We did a lot of really cool things yesterday. We actually went a little bit into what we were going to cover today. We're gonna go even further, see how crazy we can take it today. Just real quick recap for anyone that wasn't here yesterday. We are literally editing a YouTube video, a basic YouTube video that includes editing A-roll and B-roll in a way that is going to keep people engaged the entire way. So I think our keyword yesterday was like audience retention. So in this case, we're editing an interview where I'm interviewing a really cool director that I know from, I think he's actually from the UK, but he edits a lot of Nigerian videos. And we kind of went back and forth talking about some of his hottest hits, you could say. And we went over kind of how I edit YouTube videos these days in order to keep people's attention.
Which is like the whole thing. That's like the biggest thing on YouTube, on every platform. It's keeping people watching your videos because like we were talking about yesterday, attention spans are shorter and shorter. So that was a really big part of yesterday's session. And I'm excited to see how you like reiterate on it because I know you keep that in mind like throughout your entire edit, right?
Yeah. So it's important to have substance, but to keep people interested the whole time to get to the substance. So one thing that I want to actually start off with is yesterday I mentioned how I don't really have intros. I used to have like a 10-second intro that really got my content branded, which, there was a purpose there, but it's really important to get it's really important to have 70% of your viewers still watching within the first 30 seconds of the video, and a 10-second intro is going to completely kill that. You can literally see it in the graph in your analytics. People just drop off. So what I do instead is something that a lot of people do these days is you kind of have a hook. You have some type of hook. Maybe it's like a reaction of me reacting to something, but not really showing what I'm reacting to. Maybe I do show
like a cliffhanger or something.
A teaser, cliffhanger. That's exactly. And then you go into the content. I think I've even gotten to the point where I've stopped saying my full name. Hi, I'm Josh Olufemii. I'm still working it out. And I think that's, sometimes that's important, but I've seen videos where I've just like gone straight in. And
it kind of makes sense too, though, because you could add that as like a graphic, like a lower third, and people can just read it on their own without having to waste 2 seconds formally introducing yourself, especially nowadays where like there are no introductions. Like the way we're consuming video, especially like on TikTok, it's just like straight to the point. So I can see why taking that off sometimes is valuable.
It's it's debatable, right? It's just shaving off those seconds where people came. You want to be branded because you care about your content, but people came to your video specifically in our world to learn something or to be entertained, and they aren't necessarily worried about, hey, where does this guy live? What's his story?
Right.
You want that communicated, but you want that communicated in maybe
Maybe
not
it's
in the moment, but over
secondary.
the it's secondary over the long term.
Yeah,
That's something we're
exactly.
still trying to figure out how to do. So let's
And
just play through what we did yesterday. Or go ahead.
yep, let's go for it. No, no, no.
Do it.
I'm
Okay, cool.
excited to see it. Yeah.
Tell me if this is too loud too. Anyone watching?
Meji, it is a pleasure having you on the channel. For this first video, what is the name of the video and what is the artist?
Yo, Femi, thank you so much for having me on the channel. I've been keeping up with it for so long, and it's a pleasure to actually be on it. The video we are showing right now is Burn a Boy featuring Stormzy, Real Life.
I might just decide to slide on my enemies. I go
All right, copyrighted music. And we'll skip through that a little bit.
correcting it. Everybody know for
For
sure.
Real Life, we wanted it to feel real. We wanted it to feel really, I guess, visceral in a sense. So for a lot of the narrative, it's handheld, but a lot of the performance sequences are Steadicam. We ran a 2-camera setup all day, and it was an excellent.
I look at most of your visuals in your portfolio and I just fall in love with the look that you use, and it almost seems like you're always shooting with a film camera. Is that the case?
All right, so we're gonna go quickly over what we went over yesterday.
Okay.
No details, just a quick overview. I cut up my A-roll, chop, and I talked about how you're going to want to implement jump cuts in your A-roll where you take out like ums and pauses just to kind of keep everything smoothly going along. What else did I say? I also said that when you're going to audio real quick, I kind of have like a cool little method that I use regarding putting audio on the track. So when I'm talking about the vocals or my dialogue, people speaking, I have a special method where I go to the track, in this case A2, go to the audio track manager. I rarely put effects on actual audio clips. I apply it to the track so that it can affect all the audio clips in the track. So kind of have my own little thing I do. I use the multi-band compressor in amplitude and compression. Put that on, and you double click, and then you have presets. I use the broadcast preset. I have my margin at -3. That kind of allows things not to peak, the sound, the volume to peak over -3. And then I bumped my gain up to
Yes,
bring
and
all my levels up.
all these little things that you did yesterday with your audio really helped improve it so quickly. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah, you just equalize everything. Other thing I did when I was putting my music in, I shared a cool little trick where instead of audio ducking the normal way, which is, say you have your background music.
Having you on the channel. For this first video, what is
usually you have to bring the volume down way low in order to have your voice be heard clearly. A lot of the time, not a lot of the time, all the time, I always want to hear my background music, and I want to hear it just as clearly as my voice talking, because I like how it sounds. It sounds good. It fills the space in a nice way, but I don't want it to overpower my voice. So instead of actually lowering the volume down, I create a pocket in the frequencies. So I take a portion out of that background music, and then I place the frequencies of my voice inside that pocket. And I leave each of those things, my voice and the background music, at the same level.
And
same
this
volume
sounds
level.
like rocket science when you're describing it, but you really made it look it was so easy. Just a couple copy and pastes and a couple effects, and we were on our way. So that was a really awesome trick there. I don't know if you're going to show it in the effect controls maybe, but
maybe real quick. There's a crazy cool tutorial we have on the channel
yeah.
about it. All I did was I applied the de-esser to the audio. to the main audio. Click to edit. You can kind of, an easy way to do it. Just I have this kind of centered in the middle. Usually everyone's voice is going to kind of be in the middle. And then I copied and pasted that effect de-esser onto the music, as you can see here. And by copying and pasting this de-esser effect, I know it's not used for this way, it cuts that pocket out of the music that your voice lies in. And your voice track is going to just automatically lay in that pocket because it's already in those frequencies. And
I wonder if you could play it for us with and without the effect.
I will. Let me do it right now. Good call. So I'm going to take the de-esser off. This is just everything normal.
It is a pleasure having you on the channel. For this first video, what is the name of the video and what is the...
God, wow, that music's way too loud,
competing,
right?
Yeah.
It's competing. I'm using the wrong word. The music is it. We're going to do what we're going to do. So bring the de-esser back on, create a pocket in the frequencies.
It is a pleasure having you on the channel. For this first video, what is the name of the video and what is...
That's great.
So much better.
Yeah. No volume has actually been reduced in either one. It's just that the frequencies of the voice have been taken out, so you can hear both almost just as loud.
I love that. That was like such a simple little trick that I can't wait to use. And I know like applies to so many types of videos, like every single video that you're using background music in, you can incorporate that technique. It's just so common. So I just think anyone out there who's getting into video editing can quickly apply this and just like be a little bit more pro, you know?
Yeah, and I got to shout out my bro Dave for teaching me that. Did not know that until this year, basically. I've been editing for 10 years, and it's actually hilarious to think about. It's really good to have other people in your pocket that have slightly different skill sets than you, because as a videographer, a video editor, audio is not my forte at all. So this is something that's very this is anyone that does music production, audio engineering. This is like basic stuff. And took me 10 years to learn it. Yeah.
You know, we're all learning at our own pace here. We have an amazing question here from Paco coming in. So the question is, what is the main benefit of using the de-esser effect over ducking the music over the vocals?
Yeah, so the way it's been explained to me is ducking the music under the vocals, all you're doing is you are the frequencies, sorry if I'm using the wrong word, I believe the word is the frequencies of the audio and the video, of the music and the audio of me speaking, they're still overlapping. They're still over each other. And so all you're doing is you are kind of lowering the volume of everything all together. And you're hoping that by lowering the volume of everything, the music is going to lower to the point where you can hear the voice, but it never really, the music ends up having to be very, very quiet before you can barely hear the voice. Yeah. In this case, you don't have to worry about lowering anything because you're just carving out a hole in the frequencies. And then you're placing music in that hole. And both the music and the voice are now, it makes a hole now. That hole is being filled by your voice. The volume hasn't changed at all. And you're able to hear both.
Right, yeah. And I think another thing is that it sounds really natural. And sometimes if you use some of the auto ducking effects that are available in Premiere, they work really well, but sometimes depending on the background music that you're using and the pace of the person talking, it can get a little like you can hear it go up and down a lot. You have to really play with it. And this way, the way that you've showed us is so natural sounding. You don't even hear the fact that, like, you don't even notice how clear everything sounds because it seems like it just flows.
Yeah, totally agree on that one. It's just there's so much more to learn that whole field. Like I feel like I'm just touching the surface. but
a basic understanding, but still such a powerful technique that I'm so glad you're able to share with us. And now maybe other editors, newbie editors out there don't have to wait 10 years to find out, right? Because you're
yes,
letting us know now.
please don't. Cool. All right, guys. So I think what else did another thing that's going to be important is we also talked about adjustment layers. An adjustment layer is an invisible layer that you put on top of your footage or any of your tracks. And in this case, putting any effect that you apply on the adjustment layer affects any track below it. And so in this case, we are using adjustment layers to create kind of like animated zoom-ins or punch-ins. And we actually, at the end, I think, used adjustment layers to apply color correction to the clips underneath it.
Yeah.
Right here. I remember we did that.
I just love that you're doing this kind of punch in and zoom in the adjustment layers, because it's repeatable, which I think is something that if you don't realize that that's how people are doing it, it feels like everyone's keyframing entire YouTube videos, which is just seems like a lot of work for anything. And by having that adjustment layer, you can just like drag and drop these effects throughout your timeline. I'm like, that is so smart, and starts to make way more sense as to how easily people are adding these effects into their videos.
Yeah, and like the thing that just sold it for me was you can keyframe in between clips. So say I want to zoom in, I can zoom in over 2 different clips as opposed to trying to create a keyframe scaling from 0 to 4 and then 4 to 6, you know. Those are really low numbers, but yeah. So cool. I think what we should do,
you can turn, I don't know, we didn't talk about this that much yesterday, but the cool thing with the adjustment layers is you can turn them on and off, so we can quickly see like the difference with having them applied or not. Just even just for the turning the entire layer off with the little eyeball on the left of the timeline.
Oh yeah, right here. Totally.
Then you can just see the difference with the effects. And we didn't specifically call that out yesterday, but that's one of the cool benefits of using the adjustment layer over having like the clip, you know, in the effect controls, right?
Exactly. I used to have this on a hotkey. I guess it's not enabled. Maybe it was with the update it changed, but you can assign anything to any hotkey you want. So enable, usually I had E as smart. You can kind of, there you go. You can kind of see the difference. Yeah. Good point. So I was trying to think, I was like, how do we want to start today? And I'm like, I think we should maybe try to figure out how to make a good hook to start out. Right now we have just a very basic intro.
Meji, it is a pleasure having you on the channel for this first video. What is the name of the video?
I think what we should plan to do maybe for the next 20 or so minutes, if it even takes that long, is we're going to find some footage of me maybe reacting. Hopefully I have footage of that. And then we're going to have a track playing. It's potentially different from the track that we're listening to now. And I'm going to add like a riser is what I like to call it. So it's like, it's a sound effect that's like gaining in volume.
I'm so interested in seeing how you're going to put this together, because I recognize exactly what you're doing. I've seen it across a lot of videos, but I haven't, I haven't really seen how people are incorporating this into their workflow and at what stage, right? Because this is something, do you usually do something like this, adding that like hook at the end once you've edited the full video and you know what's going into it? Do you pre-plan it? Like, I'm curious here.
Because I just started kind of doing that. I should have done this like years ago. I think I kind of already know, let's see, have I pre-planned? So I think I've edited at the beginning for the most part. I like to kind of edit chronologically. Maybe that's not the most effective way to doing it. So I kind of had an idea as far as like videos that I knew I reacted to. Basically, what we have this series where my business partner gives me videos, and so I watch them, have like really genuine reactions, and then I edit like right away. And so this one's a little bit different, that it's an interview. I've seen these videos over and over again, which is why I picked this director. He's one of my favorite directors. So we will see. We're actually going to see how this went, because I didn't react as much because I was like struggling the whole time to even communicate. We had a really bad internet connection, and I kind of already knew what these videos look like. So there weren't any like, oh my gosh, that's amazing type of
right, because you'd have seen it before, obviously. Otherwise, it would be odd for you to interview him without having watched the video.
So I'm like, but we got to figure out how to make this hook engaging. So I'm like, it's funny, I'm laughing right now. I'm looking at myself viewing these videos, and I'm just like,
what are you looking for usually when you're trying to find something quote engaging?
I know myself so well. Like I know my expressions that I just automatically go to. Like I'm usually like, I'm saying something like, oh my gosh, dang, or sick, or something like that. So you can literally like, you can see in the sound wave me saying something that's like really short. And so I'm like, okay, I'm obviously gonna go there. I'm like literally saying nothing for this entire thing, you can see. So I'm like, there's probably nothing there. But we're gonna try, because this is important. We got to figure out a way to do this in order to do things the right way. So let's go into my raw footage.
Okay.
And we
got a lot going on here. Lots of panels here.
We got a lot of panels, and I will. Let's do this. Let's clean this up a little bit. This is crazy, right? So let's close the essential graphics panel. Let's close the Lumetri color panel, color panel, and let's bring this out here. I might have you remind me, Fabiola, how to take the scribbing noise out. I think it's in Edit, Preferences, General, because I'm going to be doing a lot of scrubbing, and I don't want to hear it.
I don't know.
It's okay. Well, it's here somewhere.
Someone in the chat can let us know, I'm sure.
One of you geniuses watching. Let's hear. Okay, play audio while scrubbing. There it is right there. So we're going to take that out.
All right.
And then we're going to now look at my... Give me a cheap one, man. You know, like... Gotta love it. Combing through raw footage.
You know, it's part of the video editing process, and we're here to show real workflows.
Oh, yeah. Putting on some of that chapstick. There we go. So let's try this one.
Are you comfortable watching yourself playback now? I feel like people who are always starting out, they're like, I hate sifting through my own footage. How do you feel about it these days?
Oh, there's really nothing to see at this point. Like, that surprises me.
You've accepted your voice and your video. For a lot of people, that can be challenging, like accepting hearing yourself and accepting watching yourself.
Here's something that I think everyone should think about when they're doing YouTube content, teaching content. I have given up the need or the desire to look fine when I'm presenting. Like, I just want to be engaging. So I don't even think about, so obviously, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, I'm put together somewhat well. But apart from that, as far as, you know, I had like insecurities, like, oh, I don't like how my voice like cracks at times, or like this or that. My biggest one that I would always get comments at, like earlier on, was how I held my mic like this. They're like, Josh, what the heck? What kind of mic is this? Just use like a lav mic, use like a boom mic or whatever. And I actually switched. Sennheiser sent us like a really expensive one of their new mics, the lab mics, when it first came out, and I was like, okay, we're finally switching.
It's happening, yeah.
It's happening, and it was kind of a big deal, and I just didn't like it. Like, it didn't sound great, so I had to make the decision. I'm very expressive when I'm talking and reacting and doing stuff like that, and if I cared too much about, you know, looking smooth and looking nice, I feel like my sound would be different than how I like the way my sound sounds with that mic. And
yeah, it's just like focusing on the being present and in the emotion, as opposed to worrying about production, right?
I would rather people watching my content than being attracted to me, I guess, if that makes sense. Like that's way more important at this point.
I
And
mean,
so
it makes sense. I also think it makes sense that you liked using that mic because when you're expressive, you're like moving around with it as opposed to like something static, like even this mic that I'm using, or if you had a boom mic, you'd have to be aware of staying in the relatively similar proximity to that mic the entire time that
maybe.
you're talking, which is a whole other thing sometimes. So I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Maybe stuff will change, but I haven't gotten any audio better than this mic that's right up next to your mouth with any other type of mic, and I've tried so many types of mics over the years.
You're onto
but
something.
Maybe I'll get an
it.
audio person to tell me what's up.
Dang.
Okay, this is actually, I don't know why I said dang, but I'm gonna cut this and use it.
Okay, so you're saying that's like the.
Dang. I think I may have been saying he has a hook, yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna just cut that because what was I even saying about?
Oh, you're in LA, man? Dang.
Okay, so he's usually not in LA, and that's where I used to live. But I just moved over here, and so I was like, oh dang. But we're gonna use that, create a mystery, like, oh, why was I saying dang? You know, we'll eventually see in the video, but I would have liked to have seen me say something like a reaction to the actual video, but we'll see if I actually have any.
Forth between LA and.
All right, talking about geography, of course.
You know, have to.
Yeah.
Tell us what I do.
I'm in Brisbane.
There we go. All right, making a weird face. Okay, that might be something. No, we're not gonna do it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm recording on my camera. Perfect. Just 3 questions regarding each video. They're going to be the same questions.
Just explaining stuff.
Cool. So let's play. We're going to just both play real life.
You have them on the phone while you're, or is it all on the computer?
So I have it way more janky usually, but in this case, he was on Riverside is what we used, and I was recording on Riverside, but the internet connection is so bad. So usually what I do is I have both parties on like Zoom, and then I have them recording their video and their audio externally. We both are, so I have my camera running, I have my audio running externally. Usually the same thing's going on their side, and we're just using Zoom to communicate. But in this case, he didn't have a camera or a tripod or anything to use.
Got it.
So it's just in any way possible. When you get like talent like this, you kind of want to make it easy on them and not be too demanding.
Comes to mind when you were making this video? Or you said it's a Jamaican video.
So now we're looking for a little catchy part to insert into the beginning of this video. And we're looking for 5 or 6,
I'm not quite sure.
Do you have to make sure that whatever it is that you use, you end up showing that same clip somewhere else in the timeline, like in the rest of the video, right?
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah, there we go. So beautiful.
There we go.
We'll take that out.
Obviously, and I think it's a video that really makes you proud of your culture. It doesn't matter, you know, what tribe you're from. You know, it's all.
You're talking about Nigerian videos. Okay.
Clean, so polished, so beautiful.
There we go.
Clean, so polished, so beautiful.
All right, we'll cut that up somewhere. We might just go with this. Maybe we'll find one more clip.
Clean, so polished, so beautiful.
Maybe I'll cut. Yeah. Okay, I have an idea for that. One more.
Okay.
2 memorable. And so, if you could tell me, just like 1 or 2 memorable experiences that happened during the process of creating this.
So I'm looking for everything at this point, like not only the reactions, but maybe like a quick, cool question maybe people might want the answer to. That one was that question is too long.
You wouldn't say that you
So much.
pre-plan these, do you? Like pre-plan the hook before you even record with them?
I probably should. Like when I say pre-plan, like just kind of be aware. It's really hard to be aware sometimes when you're reacting to stuff. It depends what kind of video you're doing.
Yeah.
Meji, thank you so much.
Definitely did not plan this one.
Feelings of other international by far.
If I had planned this, I would have probably thought, okay, this may actually have something to do with the questions I asked. Like I asked very general questions. Maybe I should have like worded the question in a more like crazy way. Made it shorter, not taking like 10 seconds to ask the question, stuff like that. That's how I'd probably plan this better.
That was amazing. Anything happens. I'm going to show it to you.
I think this is like the reality of interviewing people, where it's like you have to cut between you and then the person, and you're trying to find those little bits, those moments that out of context still make enough sense but are still quick, because that's kind of what you're going for, is something that's like even out of context is interesting but short, right? Because like you said, those questions that you asked, sometimes you asked it a long-winded way because you were in the moment.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we're gonna 3 minutes of going through this real quick, if that.
See the motion control machine programming the moves so we can repeat moves. You know, it's not gonna happen. Video, but maybe it was on the way home when you know, the artist, you know, because some people like to, you know, just sleep and think that it's gonna happen.
All right, I want to keep moving along.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do now is, I hate this audio. This audio is my camera audio, so I need to sync it to sync my Zoom audio. So I think this is the same. This is 2, so I already know this is the right mic. So this is from Zoom 31. So I'm gonna sync this. Tell me if you have a better way of syncing things. What I do is I put my clip that I want to sync to like behind the clip, the master clip, I would call it, right? And that maybe I've been doing it wrong forever, but that seems to make this clip stay still and have this be the clip that moves rather than the other way around, which is important if I have like a lot of footage around, right?
Got it.
So maybe it has something to do with how I've targeted tracks. Maybe I'm just like lost in that way, but that's kind of how I've always done it. That seems to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I could see that. I've always synchronized my audio, the entire thing, on a different sequence and then grabbed it from there. So I haven't done it this way myself.
Yeah, I probably should have done that. Just popped it up in a second sequence. So we're gonna right click, do synchronize, make sure we're synchronizing audio, and then we're going to, you know, this might have something to do with it right here. I didn't even see this. Track channel 1. Okay, so
let's try that.
And that'll work.
Audio synchronization always sounds really intimidating, and then usually it's so quick.
See, what I did was
where'd it go?
It went somewhere, and like, this is the thing,
it's because you don't have that entire audio track open, right? So it's like
so like
it is.
This is kind of just what I've always. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but if I sync these two clips, it's behaving the right way. It's just this is having to move to where it would be when that track is fully expanded out. So we'll do it again, and hopefully it doesn't
eat up anything.
Go into where I've actually edited
it.
Okay, interesting. So Yeah, see, this is the clip that's moving. All right, we're gonna try it this way. Oh. All right.
Where is it going?
It's in here somewhere. I'm sure there's.
I wonder, you could
now that's
do it in another sequence, or what if you were like move them higher up, like move the audio, the video up a couple tracks and move the audio down?
We'll just do that. We'll do like, I always call it like a test sequence or an extra sequence. I think I call it usually.
Just another scratch pad sequence. Okay.
Like a scratch, yeah, something, yeah, exactly. Okay, so we'll just do this. And yeah, one right here. So we'll just stretch this audio underneath where.
Trying to find it in that long.
Place it back here.
This is beautiful, dude.
What I say here?
Oh, cleans. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. This is beautiful, dude.
Okay.
You want to keep that? This is beautiful, dude, right? For your hook?
Yeah.
Got it.
You're a freaking filmmaker.
Okay, actually, that works too. You're a freaking filmmaker. That's referring to the fact that a lot of music video directors hate being called music video directors. They want to be respected as filmmakers.
Got it.
So you can see like he puts a lot of attention to like storytelling and stuff that a lot of amateur music video directors tend to overlook.
Yeah.
A lot of music video directors want to use music video directing as a stepping stone into like feature filmmaking.
Okay.
Anyway, random little tidbit right there. Okay, cool. So what we have here is we have some options. Let's just play through this real quick.
Okay.
So clean, so polished.
Maybe we can expand that, full screen it while we play back.
Good call. Let's do that. Span this out. Okay. First thing I'm just gonna do is cut out these gaps. Gonna do. You know what? My hotkeys are all different than I do.
Oh, weird.
Interesting. Something happened.
Do you change keyboard? Sometimes that changes.
It's something. I have so many.
So clean.
Like original hotkeys, so maybe it defaulted somehow to.
Got it.
I'll have to figure that out later.
So clean. So
weird. That's a weird cut. That's a weird jump cut.
So clean.
Let's try applying a little constant power.
So clean. So
smooth that out.
You just want to get rid of any of those gaps, right?
Yeah, for now.
Clean. So polished.
Weird little gappy, little jump cut sound again.
So polished. So beautiful.
Nice. So we're
polished.
condensing
So
that even
beautiful.
further.
Yeah, just condense this a little bit. Hopefully it ends up sounding good in the end.
So clean, so polished, so beautiful, polished, so polished.
Kind of clipping that P a little bit. Let's bring it back a little bit.
So polished.
Did I actually say P or did I say polished?
So polished.
There we go. I brought the P back right there.
All right.
That's where you can see in the audio waves. That's where it was.
So polished, so beautiful.
All right. What I say here?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. This is beautiful, dude. This is beautiful.
I'm gonna do Q edits to the next cut point.
Okay.
And do Q or W.
Beautiful. This is beautiful, dude. You're a freaking filmmaker. Beautiful, dude. You're a freaking filmmaker.
Okay, I didn't sound quite as enthusiastic as I would have liked to have looked when I said that. We're gonna cut that out.
So clean, so polished, so beautiful. This is beautiful, dude.
I wish I used another adjective. So in my mind, I'm thinking da 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 da, and then arrives. Hi, what's up, guys? My name's Josh. You know, whatever. So like, I just wish.
So clean, so polished, so beautiful. This is beautiful, dude.
I need something else. I'm gonna
What if you put the ending, the last clip at the beginning? It might be the beginning is so strong though with the so. But that would cut up the last beautiful. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, good point. Good point.
I don't know. It might ruin the flow.
Let's see.
This is beautiful, dude. So clean, so polished, so beautiful.
Yeah, it kind of needs something else. I see what you're
I wish I
saying.
had some stronger clips, but let's see if he says anything better. It was so funny. I did this whole interview and I heard maybe 50% of it because of the internet connection. I remember saying somewhere in here, like, bro, this is amazing. I feel like I'm going to have a great time editing this and kind of experiencing this interview in a new light because I didn't hear nothing. And that's kind of what happened. So it's just quick little trick when I'm cutting a roll like this. I like to look at, so the video, I just look at the audio waves. And so you can actually know where to focus on because you can see where he's actually talking.
Oh yeah, that makes sense for interviews where there's a back and forth.
Don't ask me about lighting. Ask me more about camera than lighting. Like in Ginger.
All right, let's see.
Lighting, you know, but in the other ones, like no stress. I don't remember the increasingly more complex. If you're talking about increasingly more complex, I would go with Bing Colin because Bing Colin was actually ahead of its time. I mean, part of my mind is probably when you talk about increasingly more complex, Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know, or maybe not.
That's something there.
I mean, Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know, or maybe not, that might not understand. You know, with the way the bricks are aligned, with the AO at the top of.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I mean, Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
I wish he didn't say I mean at the beginning. That would have been a clean little. Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture. See if we can cut it out.
I mean,
yeah.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture.
Okay.
Or maybe not, that might not understand. That people don't know, or maybe not, that might not understand.
Okay, so we're gonna bring that down.
That people don't know, or in culture.
I want there to be no gaps. I'm gonna use Q to cut back to that first cut.
Sure. That people don't know, or
I'm gonna cut there.
Or maybe not.
Then he makes a mistake and then he repeats it. So I'm gonna take that second take of him saying the same thing.
That might not understand.
That people might not understand is how it should.
Oh, that might not. Don't know. People don't know. That might not understand.
Okay, I'm just gonna cut this last part out. Let's look for like one more thing.
And with the AO at the top of
let's look at the audio.
The thing.
How are you switching to that audio view?
Good point. So what you do, you can click any of these buttons, drag audio only, drag video only, drag audio only, and you can see just the audio.
The way the bricks are aligned with the way the AO Nigerians just love mercs, and then also them playing IO together. Yeah, exactly. I haven't spoken too much about Ginger publicly. I've done a whole thing on 49.99. I've done a whole thing on Chronics.
Let's see.
Let's chat about Ginger if you like. Don't know if you can see me like nodding and stuff. Alright, yo, Femi, thank you so much for having me on the channel. You know, I'm keeping up with it. So let me just do it one more time. So, you know, we had 2 cameras going. So as well. We ran a 2-camera setup all day. I've just shot film a few times.
Well, you don't want to use anything that you're gonna
no
use already, right?
You know,
you can use something. It's gonna be such a short snippet. I'm more interested, like,
really
let me get something.
Film actually, I've
you
just shot film a few times. Actually, I've just shot film a few. I've just shot film a few times.
That's something. That's a big deal, right? Like, especially with all of us amateur digital creatives.
I've just shot film a few times. No, I've just shot film.
All right, we'll deal with that in a little bit later.
Cool as a Breeze is one of them. But I guess we just pay a lot of attention to, you know, the feel, the lensing, and obviously the Alexa helps. You know, the camera is incredible, and our colorists are incredible. So just working with, you know, the right team to craft that look that you're going. So I feel like it's a mix, because I don't think I fully friends around me on that day. A lot of them are featuring in.
Those parts are really cool, but they're not necessarily like hooky, right? Like it's really cool information, but it's not quick enough.
And
well,
they need a lot of context to be interesting too. All right.
I don't want it to look like only Burna Boy.
All right, let's see here.
So what, I should drink it?
You know, really doing things. So on a tripod, close to the face. You know.
No, let's just work with what we have. This is something. So right now,
okay, so you have like a bunch of shots of yourself like being wowed and amazed, and then you have some hooky bits of his audio too, right?
Yeah, and they don't necessarily need to make sense yet. You know, they seem to be like captivating, like, oh, film. What are they talking about?
This is beautiful, dude.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture.
So clean, so clean, so
beautiful,
polished,
and then beautiful. We keep forgetting.
Maybe I'll just take beautiful out. Sexy.
This is beautiful, dude.
That people don't know.
I see.
I'm interested to see how you're trying to compose this. Can you explain a little bit what your process is right here?
I've just shot film a few times that people don't know.
So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create some type of, not mystique, but I'm trying to create a space where people are asking questions and I'm leaving people in the dark.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So here, a lot of people may not know what Ginger is. Ginger is like a big music video with Burna Boy and doesn't matter, you'll see in a sec, and WizKid. So I'm gonna have like footage of I'm gonna have footage playing as B-roll on top of everything, just to kind of give some context. People are like, oh, that video looks amazing. Oh, Nigerian culture, cool. Reveal what aspects that he's talking about that people don't know that are being revealed in the video.
So clean, so polished. This is beautiful, dude.
I've just shot.
I don't like that quite yet.
I've just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Maybe that could almost seem like I'm referring to the film that he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start with that.
This is beautiful, dude.
Cool. Let's just use this. See what we can do. So now let's go over to music and let's pick like a dope track. Most of these tracks should be from Epidemic Sound, so you don't have to worry about copyright.
And what are you looking for here for a sound when it comes to the hooky bit that you're trying to put audio against?
Something energetic, some fast-paced. Like there's a track that I've used in the past that I may not be able to find, but it's literally was like, and then there's like a punch in there.
Okay.
That punch is when I start, but we'll probably have to find something similar that does the
you
kind
want
of the
something
same
that
thing.
like ramps up and gets the viewer kind of like sucked into the video and ready for that like other side of the video where we actually kick into the true video, right?
Exactly. And I can even add a ramp up, like a what's it called, like a riser. A riser usually fits over any track that you find to actually bring people to that breaking point, that expectation of some type of visual break, even if your song doesn't break at that specific point. Like,
oh, I'm so interested in knowing about this.
Yeah, so if the track doesn't quite break where we want it, we'll use the riser just to bring us there, you know?
Okay, let's go look for this audio here.
Let's do it. It's too slow. Too boring. Yeah, it's something. It almost has this UK vibe to it. I don't know. That is a potential.
Options.
Yeah. I usually don't want vocals or any type of I like instrumentals for something like this. I like instrumentals for most of my background music.
It makes
because
sense.
the vocals
I think
seem to
it's less
clash.
distracting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so none of that. No. So
Next.
nope. Okay. I do use that track eventually for background music. It's a good one, but like, it's not what we want here. Maybe.
I like that you're going through the entire audio track. You're not just limiting yourself to maybe like the beginning, which is kind of, you're looking for something for the beginning of your video. So just scrubbing through that entire track to see where those potential hooky kind of parts are that would make sense for this part of your video. That's smart.
Yeah. And then actually look at the audio waveform too. So
Yeah.
I know there's a break here just because it drops off. Some type of break, I guess. I don't even know if that's the right terminology, but look at us.
We know what we're listening for.
Exactly. Okay. I wish that was a cleaner drop off, but I don't really like the pulsating.
Stopping it right before that part, maybe?
Yeah, and there's actually a trick I'll go over too. I'm just curious to see how this. All right, let's do our little de-esser trick real quick so we can actually hear stuff. So we're going to, and what I'm doing, guys, I'm going over here. You know what? I'm just gonna show people from the beginning because people may not have remembered from yesterday. So first thing I want to do for this is I want to bring him to fill up the entire screen. So I'm going to right click him and I'm going to do set to frame size. Bang, bang. I'm going to do the same here. Set to frame size. There we go. Everything's filled out. So let's listen to both of these, the music and him talking. Way too loud, right?
So loud.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to effects. How about we do this? We're going to bring effects over to here so I can see it. And we're going to type in de-esser. And we're going to bring it into here. First his audio, bringing the de-esser into his audio. I'm going to solo this track. Mute everything else for now.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigeria.
That's him talking. So we're going to go over to the de-esser that we just put on him. And we're going to go to edit. And we're going to cut out.
Has a lot of references to Nigeria.
Kind of the middle of, get the bulk of where his voice is at. The bulk of his voice is obviously right here.
Nigerian culture that people.
So we're going to sanction this part of his voice as what we want to cut out using this de-esser tool. This de-esser is obviously used for something else. It's used for like, when you're like, having those S sounds. Don't worry about that. We're using it for something completely different. We're using it to cut out frequencies. So that's all it does. It just cuts out frequencies within this in and out point that you've set. So right now it's actually cutting out these frequencies from the actual audio of him talking. We don't want to do that. We just used this as a guide, basically, as regarding the frequencies that we want to eventually cut out of the music, because we're trying to cut out the frequencies that his voice is actually in. So let's now cut Control or Command C if you're on a Mac.
Copy it. Cut. Okay.
We'll cut it like that. My hotkeys aren't working today as much as I'd like them to be. Okay, so now we're going to cut that de-esser out of the track. of him talking. We're gonna paste it on the background music track. Paste, and now he's gonna go back to talking normally, and that de-esser is gonna cut that section of him where his frequencies are of his voice out of the music track, and everything should fit together perfectly, just like we said before.
A lot of references to.
Oh, sorry, I need to unmute the track, or let's keep this track muted. That's the camera audio. So
A lot of references to Nigerian culture.
Still kind of loud. I think I forgot. I didn't treat his voice, so I need to. Or actually, let's see. Actually,
It might be on your
audio track mixer. So this is audio 2. The audio 2 is what I want.
and maybe we can turn down that volume on that on the music. It's a bit loud, I think, for everyone listening.
Yeah, maybe I'll just have to do that anyway. Usually, I try not to have to do that.
A lot of references.
Right. Oh, I know. This is really good. This is Fabiola. Did you notice why the music track's still loud?
Because it's with that multiband compressor effect.
Yeah. So right here, I'm dealing with 2 audios. This is the beauty of editing. Why you shouldn't, sometimes editing on a scratch timeline is better. So like, I literally have this multi-band compressor effect on both track 2 and track 3, because on track 2 I have me talking, and track 3 I have him talking, and I have my music on track 3 when I should have my music on track 4, where there is an effect. So we're gonna just do that. And
so if you move your music down to track 4, it should be
it should be fine. I'm gonna bring the music back up to 0 just to see.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
I just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful.
Okay, cool. So
that explains why that music was so loud. It was actually an effect placed on that track, in case anyone missed that there. It doesn't naturally sound that loud.
Yes, now, especially with the de-esser on it now.
A lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So
maybe you could turn that de-esser on and off so we can hear the difference, since there was some back and forth there. We didn't get it clearly.
So let's turn it off.
References to Nigerian culture.
So loud.
Yeah.
That people don't know.
So
way better now.
So clean, so polished.
I just shot.
He's a little bit low on this. I'm just going to bring up the levels just individually on that track.
I just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful.
It's a little low on this track too.
This is beautiful, dude.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
I just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Nice.
This is beautiful, dude.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a little trick. I'm not quite convinced that video is perfect, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to bring this to the front.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you guys another audio track effect that I use all the time to add reverb to the end of a track to allow it to kind of echo out in a really cool way, so it doesn't just stop abruptly like it does here.
This is beautiful, dude. Meji, edit.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit more space.
So you've brought over that whole little section that you were editing as kind of like the hooky intro to your video to the actual beginning of your video now. And now you're going to show us how you're going to marry the two, right? We have this hooky part and then the actual video that we're going to get into.
Actual video. But the sound, it's just like this, the sound kind of like it ends too abruptly.
Beautiful, dude. This is beautiful, dude.
I like it. I want to end with an echo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a reverb effect to this specific track. So basically what I did just now is I cut the end off of this music track. I brought it down here. I'm going to put an echo track effect on this whole entire track, so that it will echo. Just because I brought it down, because I don't want to play the echo effect to the entire song, just to where it ends. So it it reverbs out from the end of that song because the effect's on the entire track. So this is track A5 that I don't think it's being used by anything else. Nope. So it's a
Fair game.
It's a nice place, fair game. You have to place this effect. So track 5, audio 5 right here. We're going to go to reverb, put a studio reverb.
Okay.
And then click on it. And then we're going to add decay. We're going to bring the decay all the way up to just 100, like 10,000.
Max.
Milliseconds, I guess. Yeah, max. Max it out. See how it sounds.
This is beautiful, dude.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. Do that. Okay.
This is beautiful, dude.
I don't know if you guys could hear that. Kept going for a little
It did
bit.
keep going, yeah.
So now I'm going to highlight everything and I'm going to just bring it here. And so it keeps going. You're going to keep hearing it on this track for a little bit as this beginning background music sound for the actual main video starts. We'll see how it sounds.
Film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude. Meji.
That's a little bit too fast. So I'm going to give it some time to bleed out.
This is beautiful, dude. Meji, it is a pleasure having you on the channel for this.
Okay, that's something. It's actually funny. You can actually hear there's a riser leading up to that dropout. So we may not even need to add a riser. It's already baked into the track.
Film a few times.
This is beautiful.
That is usually something I'd have to add manually to a normal track.
Meji.
Cool.
And
Okay.
Ginger has a lot of
Would you leave that blacked out part, like where there's no video? You'd leave that in?
Yeah, I'd probably leave that in.
I like it too, but I just wanted to.
Meji.
Oh yeah, I think I'll leave that in for sure. I'm not convinced. I don't necessarily like how the hook looks yet, but
Ginger has a lot of
I want to work on this for a little bit.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
Just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude. Meji, it is a pleasure having you on the.
I think I'm just not the biggest fan of the actual song. So,
Tell
but
me
it's fine.
what you're struggling with here, because
Am I struggling with?
you know, for all of us watching, it's like that's pretty good. Like what's not to love, you know? So tell me here, what's not vibing for you? That you're
That's
like
not vibing.
Yeah,
It's just not. It's not a hook that I don't know. I think it's the audio levels that are kind of messing with me right now. The background music still sounds a little bit loud.
yeah.
There's a lot of references to.
And then I want to make. Okay, we'll turn the audio down. So this is kind of loud, isn't it? Okay, let's do that.
Nigerian culture that
How's that? Maybe.
people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
Just shot film.
A little bit more. Oh, okay.
I think it's just a loud track.
A lot of references
Is it the audio or is it the track or the talking?
to Nigerian culture that people
What do you guys?
don't know.
So clean, so.
I mean, audio meters are kind of where I want it, but where it should be, I would assume. But okay, cool. Yeah, just tell me. Keep telling me. Give me that feedback.
Has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
Just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Okay, cool. So what I want to do is bring this down as well. One quick little tip that's actually, you'll realize it, is when you place a track in a reverb, when you place an audio clip in a track that's full of reverb, it's going to bring the audio down by a few decibels. So say this track is at 0 and this track's at 0. If you place it in a reverb filled track, if you place this clip in a reverb filled track, it's going to sound like it's like at -3. So usually what I do, usually I have to bump this up by like 2 or 3 decibels to equalize it with this. That makes sense. So I just brought this down to like -15. So I'm probably going to bring this one down to, I don't know, -18 or something.
Okay.
And it should seem pretty smooth.
Few
Or did I bring it down? No, I meant to say I need to bring it up.
They're like
by
-13, yeah.
-13. Good point. Yeah.
times.
This is beautiful, dude. Meji.
Cool. That sounds pretty smooth.
I like that.
Cool.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
Just shot film.
Okay. I'm liking it better with the music lower.
Yeah.
Let's bring his audio up though more.
I've just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Just shot film references to Nigerian.
Another thing I want to point out is I don't think you have the reverb on his voice.
Yes.
And I remember that muffled it a bit yesterday. You can actually add that in track audio or as a clip. So I don't know which way you're going to do it today, but
good point. I've never done that track wise, but that's probably
it's the same as you did any of the other ones. So I'm sure you'd be able to, just so that you don't have to keep doing this.
Should we try it out this time? Let's try it out.
I say so. I say give it a shot.
Let's try it out. Let's do something new, guys. So what I might actually do is I might take it out of these and then just apply it to the whole track. Good point.
Yeah, because yesterday we added reverb just to the certain clips. So now Josh is going to go ahead and remove it so we can add it to the whole track and never have to think about it again.
The thing is, I don't know. Maybe you know.
What's up?
Okay, we're just gonna try. I'm gonna try. Let's just do it.
Yeah, I think if you just remove it and then apply it as a track, should be just as clean.
So we'll just right click,
remove attributes. Yep.
And just do right on this. And then so there, what I do wrong? So remove.
I don't think you hit the okay. I didn't see it.
I unchecked it instead of checked it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
So now nothing has the reverb. All of Meji's clips are with reverb.
Yes. Okay, so let's break into pioneer into new territory here. So we're gonna go to the audio track mixer. We're gonna go to A3. Yep, you're right. A3, which has the multi-band compressor. And we're going to go to reverb.
I think it's on the noise reduction, maybe.
Okay, good call. Noise reduction, reverb. Thank you. So we're gonna click on this, and then here's the thing. So
you can adjust it right in there. You can adjust it on that where it says amount at the bottom. There's that little slider.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's where I was like, how do I adjust it?
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
I've just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Oh, it is a sim way. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
Can you like toggle it on and off? There you go. Like that. Okay, cool.
Of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
Oh yes, you learn something new every day.
Same thing, just different place.
Love it. Okay, mind blown. I'm gonna use this every time now. Let me.
Now everyone knows 2 different ways to add reverb in case maybe only a section of your audio got really blown out for some reason. You'd be able to do it the way you showed yesterday as applying it just to the clip, or today applying it to an entire track.
Perfect.
Just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful.
I just added a little bit of just want to smooth out the ends of his dialogue right here.
Times.
This is beautiful, dude. Meji, it is a
Ginger has a lot of reference.
Cool. Okay, this is dope. Okay, so this is getting fun. What I'm gonna do now is I immediately know I want to like scale into his face, we'll say.
Now we're working more with the video. Before we were working more with the music, then we were working with the audio, the dialogue, and now you want to come back to the video. But before you move on here, Josh, we have a question that came in from YouTube actually, asking what are the basic visual storytelling rules you follow while editing a video?
That's a good question. So storytelling rules, we'll say when editing a tutorial, I guess, right?
Yes, because that's what we're doing today.
So I guess, let's see. So we have like our 3 acts in a way, right? We have intro, the kind of the midpoint, and then the kind of the conclusion. I'm trying to remember the actual like terms, like rising action, climax, and then like resolution.
Yes.
So in the perfect world, I'd be thinking of that 24/7 when I'm editing. I'm not always, but
you probably have it in your bones at this point. You've been editing for a long time.
we'll just say that. but when I truly pay attention to stuff like that, that's when I feel like I see my retention. We're trying to really do that as of recently. So I'm trying to figure out new ways to apply that. I think that was a really good question, and that you should try to incorporate storytelling in everything that you do, and not only think, well, I'm not making a movie, so why should I do that? Music videos is a big point. Like music videos that incorporate like a really nice intro sequence, and then like a narrative throughout, and then some type of maybe twist like right before the ending, and then like a conclusion. What is it? So like rising action, climax, maybe
Conflict.
there's conflict, right, throughout, like there's some type of like protagonist and then an antagonist. And one thing to think about is like an antagonist doesn't always have to be a person. It could be like an antagonistic force that's like countering the goal of the protagonist. You just want an ebb and flow as far as the narrative to make it interesting.
Yeah. And
as far as how that,
I feel like you are keeping that in mind in every video that you do. Obviously, educational videos, tutorials, those kinds of things aren't as clear as like, a movie, let's say, but you are still kind of introing stuff. We have problems come up in your that you're trying to resolve in a tutorial, right? And then you show people how it gets done. So I think that those things still apply to every single type of video that you're doing. And you're even adding an intro that's like a hooky intro now, because you want to, again, work on those retention rates. So all of it all comes together, even if it's not as simple or as literal as like a movie, right? Where it's like traditional protagonist, antagonist, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, another thing that movies do is they it's called foreshadowing, I think. So it's like telling something that, maybe not giving complete context, but kind of like inferring something that might happen in the future.
And you're
just totally kind of what we're doing
that
with the hook.
Yeah, I can see it. If you're just joining us right now, we're here with director, cinematographer, and YouTuber Josh Olufemii. If you've been tuning in throughout this stream, he's showing us how he builds a YouTube video, how to make a really hooky intro to keep your retention rate up here in Adobe Premiere Pro. Remember, drop your questions in the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're tuning in on Behance, bring us your questions. Just like that one, we'll make sure Josh answers them. And let's get back into this editing, Josh.
All right, we're in our intro. We've been doing a lot of audio work. We're going back to the visual side of things. One thing I want to do is I was trying to steal a previously made adjustment layer, but I'm just going to create a new one just so we kind of remember how we do it. So what I want to do is I just want to punch in like, what's up? I'm Meji,
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put an adjustment layer on there. I'm going to go to effects. So those of you guys that remember, let's make sure that effects controls are here. You cannot just keyframe the scale and any of these motion parameters here. You got to actually go into effects, transform, and actually drag down the transform effect
from the
video effects
folder. Yes.
Correct. Bring it into the adjustment layer, and then you go into let's just close motion because we don't even need that. Just go into your transform effect, keyframe the scale. I usually just always do this. I just toggle keyframes, toggle animation that creates your keyframes. The little stopwatch here, position and scale. I just toggle that by default, even if I don't necessarily
get that first keyframe. You'll get the first point.
Exactly, to get the first keyframe right here. And then I'll move along, just create a second keyframe, and I will just punch in to wherever I think I want. So now I'm affecting both the scale and the position. Keyframes already set. And then I'm going to position the keyframes after that. Let's actually bring it all the way to the beginning.
Ginger has a lot.
I want it way faster, so I'm going to zoom in.
Yeah, and by moving those keyframes left and right, you can alter it on the timeline. Just for anyone who's new to keyframing, that's what Josh is doing. If he moves them to the left, it's quicker. If he moves it to the right, it's slower.
Exactly.
Ginger has a lot of
It's a little bit too too much.
Too close?
Ginger has a lot of
Yeah, I think that's fine for now.
Ginger has a lot of references to
Right when he says references, maybe we'll cut to like a wide shot again. So we'll end the adjustment layer then.
Ginger has a lot of
Let's see how that looks.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian.
I just wish he'd so much headroom, but that's okay.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian.
We'll cut
You
to the
could
actual
re-
track
you
he's
could-
talking about.
Change that frame or something. Oh yeah, you're gonna add B-roll on top. That's another thing. So
B-roll. Yes, we got to remember that. So
Ginger has a lot of references to.
And let's see this, guys. I want to go back to sound just real quick. I want to add a zoom in sound effect. I have one that I like. It's called. Where's that in here?
Oh, I'm interested.
This is one that I use in all my videos. We're just gonna import it real quick.
Sound effects are a really fun way to just like tie the visuals and the audio together, even when you have all sorts of stuff going on.
Exactly. Yeah. Like every visual cue needs like an associated audio cue. Just like you said, tie things together.
Oh, that's a cool way to think about it. Every I've never heard of that. Every visual cue needs an audio cue.
Maybe not every, but yeah, like
Most. You could try it.
a lot of them.
You could add them and then take them out if you need to.
Exactly. So this is just an audio folder that I bring into all my projects. It has like years and years of audio that I've collected over the years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you usually go to find your audio effects?
Oh, tons of places. There are many ways to get audio. It's actually funny. Like our channel has created a couple audio packs at this point, so I kind of just steal from there. But you can go to like Envato Elements. You can go to any of these subscription services. You can go to Adobe. Adobe and Epidemic Sound have a really cool integrated thing within the. Remind me how do you get to it? It's
within Premiere Pro. You can find Epidemic
the
Sound.
Essential Sounds.
Yeah,
panel,
Essential Sound.
And you can just drag it right in, and I think you can even pay for it within the app, which is amazing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of illegal ways to get audio too. We won't cover.
No, we won't. No, we will not.
Of course not.
But show us your way, or show us what clip you want to bring in here.
I should actually, real quick. A lot of us, before we started making money, you want to get audio in a lot of illicit means. One thing to be careful about that is when you're starting to work with professional clients, like big companies, you can get in a lot of trouble when you're doing stuff like that.
It's not a good habit to start with.
I've seen it happen. More with music, less than audio sound effects, but it's good to be safe. It only takes one time. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm over at train station. So this is the audio that I like to use. I forgot where I even got this one, Train Squish. But it's a train. It's funny. It's a train going by as a train goes by.
Let's see, play it through so we could listen to it.
Let's play through it.
Okay.
It's probably
like
not
a futuristic train.
Yeah. But so what I do is I never use it in its true form, in its original form. I always tweak a little bit. Usually I add a low pass filter or I change the speed and duration of it. Okay. So this is how it sounds.
Ginger has a lot of.
Okay, so it's like obviously it's a little bit.
Ginger has a lot of reference.
That's one of the biggest things I see people do that are kind of amateurs. They just plop the audio effect right in without tweaking it at all, and it doesn't always match. So
show us your little tips and trick here.
So let's go over to effects. Let's go to low pass filter. It's the first thing I always do. Plop it on.
Ginger has a lot of reference.
That already sounds a little bit better, deeper.
Okay.
We're gonna bring down the sound level a ton.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian. Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
That's pretty good. I think what I want to do is actually want to bring it down a little bit deeper. Bring it down to 800 hertz. This is the low pass. Lower the number of the cutoff. It takes just the lowest and the lowest the frequencies.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So cool.
Subtle.
So clean. So
that's subtle, right? So let's go over to this video he's talking about. This Ginger, nope. Here it is. This is a beautiful video, by the way. Oh no, sound. What is that? There's that copyrighted music.
That playback sound.
Yeah. Just find a really cool shot just to kind of.
Like we were saying before, you guys, you want to make sure you clear all your music, and that's why we're playing it with no sound.
Exactly. I just want to find a cool, like, kind of hero shot we can use.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's good enough. I actually found some. So when he's talking about, there's some Nigerian references that people may not know about. Something like this is like a game called Mancala or Io, I think. Either Mancala or Io. I think I've heard both names. Small little things that average person may not know. So
you want to match that up to what he's talking about.
Message matching is what I like to call it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's bring this in.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture.
Oh, he says it immediately. Okay. So when he says
move the Mancala up to the front.
A lot of references to Nigerian.
Yeah, let's move it over here.
This to Nigerian culture. Nigerian culture that people don't. Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So cool.
That people don't know.
Okay, another thing is this thing right here. I'm actually not quite sure what that is, but it's some type of outfit that I'm sure is some type of reference to something.
Got it.
That people don't know.
So significance.
Something
in culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
So let's find a shot that's so clean and so polished.
Yes.
There you go.
That looks clean and polished to me.
Yeah, exactly. So let's
so clean.
It's right when I say clean is when we should pop it in.
So clean, so
right when I say polished.
Polished. Just
okay.
Shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Shot film a few times.
Polished.
Just shot film a few times.
Okay, let's make that be something different.
Polished.
Just
polished.
Just shot film a few. Just shot film a few times.
Okay, let's look at something that's like filmish. Okay, it's actually, I want to go to another video.
Another video where he used film?
I'm actually thinking I actually might want to use another video for so clean, so polished. So it's just not all one video.
Got it. Okay. Thanks for breaking it down for us here.
Yeah. Let's see what. It's a video that kind of has yeah, has a filmy look, right? Yeah. Oh, a lot of his stuff seems like he shot in film, but a lot of it isn't actually film. Just kind of what we were talking about.
Right.
All right, let's try that.
Just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Okay, this one will be a thing where I don't actually show when I'm looking at. I'm looking at something on the screen I won't show, just to kind of
add some mystery. Okay.
Exactly. Let's play through this real quick.
Can you
Ginger has a lot of
toggle open the program monitor so we can
a little bit more.
Or if you press the tilde key, it'll open it up. If you click the program monitor and then tilde.
If I do this, so
there you go.
Okay, good point.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
Just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
Oh, I forgot to expand that out.
Simple little things.
We'll set the frame size.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard some audio, like weird clipping things too. Let's see.
No.
So clean, so polished.
Just
Yeah, might just be
Right at the end there.
yeah. Let's see if I can smooth that out somehow.
just shot them a few times.
This is beautiful, dude.
There we go.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So
Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to give him back some color from last night, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cover my door, and I'll do the same thing here. Color, cover my door, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of scaling in when I'm talking, just to add a little bit of movement.
Interest. Before you keep on going there, Josh, we have a really good question here. What measures do you take to avoid a copyright strike on YouTube when using music in a video? Is there some kind of special permission required or category of videos? So this is a really good question right now with this entire video that you're putting together that's featuring music. What are you how do you work around that?
So it's going to be very rare that you're going to get actual copyright strike. I've never had a copyright strike on my channel, and I use music from all over the place, all the time. What usually happens is if you use music that is copyrighted, the copyright owner will just say, "Hey, that's fine. We'll just take all of your monetization, all your AdSense." So if your video is generating money, which it will, if you have your ads on, they'll just take all that money basically for the entire video, even if you just have like a little bit of their music in it. And so that's just something that you have to accept. Like for this video, I'm not going to get any AdSense from it.
Wow. And you just accept that because it's part of what makes this video amazing. The music.
Yeah, you got to include the music. There are some music tracks that they don't want you using their music, but they're still not going to copyright strike your channel. They're just going to block your video, and that's happened tons of times. So what ideally is, before you set up an interview talking about specific videos that you're going to feature in your YouTube video, I will take snippets. I will literally go in my editing timeline, pull the video from YouTube, cut it up, and then re-upload it to YouTube and see what it does. And if it just takes my monetization, I'm like, that's fine. But if it blocks the video, it's like, oh, we got to talk about another video for this interview.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's very strategic.
But there is all sorts of royalty-free websites that you can use to, like, for example, I think the Epidemic Sound integration has tons of music you can use that we're talking about within Adobe.
Yeah, you can get audio subscription so that you can clear music and you never have to worry about this. If it's not, if you're not editing a music video like we are today, right? We're including actual parts of a real music video in this video. So that's inevitable. But if you're not doing that, like you said, you can use stuff from Epidemic Sound or any other royalty free kind of subscription service.
All the music has copyright. No music, or at least not unless your friend's making it or you're making it, is copyright free.
Right.
But with royalty free music, you don't have to pay royalties. You just pay it as a one-time flat fee, and they let you use it, which is dope. It didn't used to be that way. Like 10 years ago, all these sites that you hear about where it's like subscription services, these didn't exist. And like the only royalty free music on the internet absolutely sucked. It was horrible. Again,
those were the days where it was the Wild West in terms of audio.
Yeah. So it's awesome what we have now. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually steal this from, I think I created yesterday. Did I not create yesterday
You did. It's up there on V4.
Oh, is it up here somewhere?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
the adjustment layer with the.
So I'm looking at so I thought I created something where, there we go, the black thing, black video. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the color layer. Got it.
Oh yeah, I'll steal that one as well. So what I'm doing, guys, is I have crop it back so you can see my door right there, and then you just put it right there.
It's to hide his white door because visually it's distracting.
Exactly. Put a little cropped mat right there. So we're gonna just extend this all the way out, and then let's go steal this adjustment layer that we.
Oh no! But now it's on Meji's. It's on Meji's video.
Oh no!
You've extended it
too far. So let's actually make sure it's only extended over the parts where I'm talking.
This is where timelines start to get real busy.
You want like an organized timeline, right? So I don't even need it right here. Good point. So now we're gonna go over to color for MOGRT. This is a adjustment layer that we created before that has a lumetri color effect on it.
Yep.
And we're going to Alt and drag to copy it. And then we're going to expand this just a little bit so I can see. And we're going to put it just over his, no, it's me. I might make one for me as well, but just do him for now.
Okay.
Makes it a little bit better to look at. And that's me again. Put it over him. And then we need some black video for my door again here. There we go. Now let's do a slow zoom in here. So I'm going to put it, I'm just going to put it right over where I am.
Okay.
Slow zoom in adjustment layer that I'm cropping back to just affect where I am talking.
So clean.
You can see it kind of looks good. We're going to duplicate it, Alt drag, hold down Alt and then drag over.
This is the cool thing about working with these adjustment layers. You're just copy pasting them and plopping them where you need in your video.
Exactly. So exactly. Just watch this all the way through one more time.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
Oh yeah. Good call.
Sorry.
Good call. Okay, it's tilde.
Click the program. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Ginger has a lot of references to Nigerian culture that people don't know.
So clean, so polished.
Just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude. MOGRT, it is a pleasure having you on the channel. For this first video, what is the name of the video and what is the artist?
Yo, Femi, thank you so much for having me on the channel. You know, I've been keeping up with it for so long, and you know, it's a pleasure to actually be on it. The video we are showing right now is Burn a Boy featuring Stormzy in real life.
I might just decide to slide on my
copyrighted music.
Copyrighted music. We're gonna talk over it.
Everybody know for sure.
For real life, you know, we wanted it to feel real. We wanted it to feel really, I guess, visceral in a sense. So for a lot of the narrative, it's handheld, but a lot of the performance sequences are Steadicam. We ran a 2-camera setup all day, and it was an excellent.
I look at most of your visuals in your portfolio, and I just fall in love with the look that you use, and it almost seems like you're always shooting with a film camera. Is that the case?
All right, that beautiful door right there. Okay, cool. So we did a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone in the chat by chance?
Anyone in the chat, bring us your questions before Josh is all done editing this video. Drop them in the chat, whether you're tuning in on YouTube or Behance here. Bring us your questions. We'll be sure to answer them while we're editing here. Wait, what are you doing right there? You're rendering just the intro?
Oh, what is this? Right? I'm just rendering anything that's yellow. I'm rendering it out. Just so it plays smoothly. Cool.
I noticed I noticed we missed a little bit of the color for MOGRT kind of changed towards the end.
Oh,
and your door. These are things I picked up on now that I'm in this video with you. We're all here watching it.
Good call. Let's fix that then. While we're in here.
Somewhere over there, right? Yeah.
There we go. So just fix it there, and then let's bring some. Okay, just fix the door.
Cool.
Cool. Oh, and him. Oh, cool. You know what? Let's fix him. So if you guys remember, we were talking about yesterday. In order to, this is a MOGRT that we made in After Effects that we brought into Premiere. We made it previously. I made it previously, and it's a cool MOGRT that allows you to. It's a media replacement MOGRT. You're able to place 2 types of media within it. So if I were to click on it, let's go to Window, Essential Graphics. So we can actually adjust and edit the MOGRT. So we have 2 pieces of media. See, large video, that's this one, and then small video, this one. How I do this is instead of just chucking video tracks in it, I actually place video tracks in my timeline, cut it how I want, and then I nest it. So I have a kind of a little sequence where I can go in and actually change the clip, the position, any of the parameters that I want, and it'll change in real time in my MOGRT, which you couldn't do if you didn't nest it.
Right.
So I want to basically add some color to him. If I just drug his clip into here, it would be unchangeable. But because I've nested it in sequence 2, I believe,
Yeah.
I can now go and add color. Let's just copy this one, color from Meji, and bring it into the sequence. We'll bring it over here, extend it over.
Perfect.
And now
there you go. The colors are way less washed out.
It's a little bit better. And then we're going to go back to our main track, and it should have in real time
Updated that MOGRT
right here. Yep, and it sure did. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just render all this out.
Cool. I love seeing that nested sequence little trick for the MOGRTs, because otherwise you do run into that thing where you just have the entire clip in there and you're having to cut it up, trying to find it in the MOGRT. It can get really, really like sloppy if you work on it another way.
Exactly. Alrighty, so.
And rendering is cool because then it plays back a lot.
Ginger has a lot of.
Sometimes I don't render it when I'm working on things on my own, but then it's so much nicer once you have it done.
I remember discovering rendering like 10 years ago. This is actually before I quite did Premiere. I was using another video editing system, and it's the same in any video editor you use. Like, it's funny that the things that are just so second nature now that just blew your mind a while back. Imagine not knowing how to render your timeline, how annoying that would be. Was my life.
Especially when it comes to MOGRTs, and once you start adding a lot of effects, rendering really helps play everything back smoothly, so you can make sure that you're editing correctly.
Yeah, exactly. You can actually see your playback in real time, as opposed to trying to guess.
It's a Nigerian culture that people don't know.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to add some lower thirds, I think, now.
So clean, so polished.
Just shot film a few times.
This is beautiful, dude. Meji, it is a pleasure having you on.
Okay, so my question to you, Fabiola, is would you like to go into After Effects as opposed to stay in Premiere? Because we could do something fun. Or do you think we should stay in Premiere regarding making lower thirds?
This is a philosophical question, because I feel like every editor who's editing a video comes to this crossroad where they think, should I go ahead and open up Adobe After Effects or should I stick in Premiere? This is a true crossroads, genuine.
Because what we could do is we could then make a MOGRT and bring it into Premiere.
So, what do we have?
What's your opinion on such things?
We've got about, I'm counting correctly, 30 minutes here, maybe 28 minutes. So if you think we can pull off a MOGRT in that amount of time, I would say go for it.
Easy. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So let's open up.
Just remember to save.
Oh, wow. Good point. Control S or Command S if you're on a Mac. Shout out to all the people still using PCs in this world. I think PCs are making a comeback.
I did my math a little wrong here, Josh.
Oh yeah,
because I wasn't mathing correctly. We have about 18 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
All right,
this should be quick.
Just
so
sorry about that, you guys. Okay,
we've
saved. We're opening Adobe After Effects, something that a lot of people are intimidated about.
Yeah, a lot of you guys don't know how easy After Effects is. Like
especially when you're going in for just one thing, right? We're going in now for one specific thing. Everyone should feel confident.
Yeah, After Effects can be hard, but can also be easy. All right, let's ignore my graphics card handicaps.
We won't talk about it.
Yeah, we're fine. So I'm just gonna do a new project. Let's just, while we're at it, let's just save it as save it in the same folder for the sake of
organization.
Meji interview. I'm going to create a new folder called AE. And I'm gonna
Simple
save
enough.
my, let's call it lower third. And we'll do save. Cool. So
this is what you see when you enter After Effects.
Basic
plainly.
interface. Yes, we have kind of a project panel as well. We're going to, we're not going to even import any files. We're going to do this all just within After Effects. So in After Effects, your sequences that you see in Premiere are called compositions. Same thing, basically. So we're going to do a new composition. You want to make sure that your sequence settings are the way you want it. So I'm just going to do 1920 by 1080. You guys may know that is full HD. 1920. There we go. And we're in Australia, so we're going to use PAL, 25 frames per second.
Use your local frame rate.
Yeah, a lot of you guys may be using NTSC, which is 23.976 frames per second.
All
Same
right, so
type
now
of
we've got this little black
as Premiere
composition.
Yeah, and we're going to just make it fit. And we're just going to make this really easy. We're going to create a very simple animated lower third.
All right.
Probably just using shapes. So let's just use a rectangular. Actually, no, let's start the text first.
Okay.
Start the text. So I'm going to text tool, bam. I'm going to write out my name, Josh Olufemii.
Perfect.
And let's pick the right font as well.
Picking fonts.
How important that
this is where you have a moment to integrate branding.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I think my channel font is currently unconnected.
It happens. Sometimes things get out of sync here.
Yeah, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to use Arial.
Okay. Handy.
So we're going to go. Yeah. So it's interesting. So let's click on my text. Go and go to transform. Actually, no, let's not. Let's do this. I want to. There we go. It's right here. So I want to, instead of just transforming the text and making it bigger, I'm just going to make it big.
Make the font bigger. Okay.
Make the actual text bigger so I don't lose any quality. And then I will, I'm going to make my lower third kind of bigger than I would want it. And then I'm going to shrink it in Premiere.
Got it.
You guys will understand what I mean in a sec. As far as branding goes, I usually like everything in all caps. So we're going to go to this, make it all caps. Same thing as any other kind of text editor in Premiere or anything. And then one thing that I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do,
essentially like a little timeline right here where you're working.
Yeah, this is a timeline just like anything else. I'm going to import something else. I'm going to import a logo, Instagram logo. I'm going to talk about my Instagram. Here we go. I just have logos.
You have it right there. Perfect.
Have kind of on hand. And I'm going to
transform the scale and the position.
Yep, transform the scale just as anything else. And then I'm going to go to my selection tool and I'll bring it down here. Let's bring this one up here. And why don't we just duplicate this? And bring it down here. And then here I'll put my Instagram, which is made by Olufemii.
Okay, so now you have name and Instagram handle.
Name and Instagram handle. We're going to try to work really fast. I'm actually going to make, this is going to be a very simple one. Very simple.
And you could have also done this within Premiere Pro, but then that doesn't mean it could have been a MOGRT. So this is a cool thing about working in After Effects is now we have the potential to make it a MOGRT, which is a template. So that's why coming into here is more fun.
And I had meant to make it a little bit more complex, but we're going to just do a simple lower third for now. So what I want to do is I'm going to make it kind of fade in. So no, I don't even have time for that. I wanted to do like it's fine. We're just going to literally
Let's do what we have time for. Let's do what we have time for.
exactly. I'm just gonna literally just keyframe the opacity
Let's do it.
and make it fade in. So we will, how about I have my name fade in first. So we're gonna go to opacity,
Mm-hmm.
keyframe, just like anything else. Go to the first keyframe, make it 0.
The next keyframe is 100, so it should play back.
Right. There we go.
Nice.
A little bit faster. There we go. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do the same thing for this one. Opacity. Opacity, make the first one 0. It's way too slow. I want this to be way faster.
There we go.
All right. And then we'll do the same for the Instagram logo.
And could you copy paste?
Yeah, I could have done that. Good call. Good call.
Just handy little things to speed it up when you're in a rush.
Yeah, let's make sure that first opacity is, that first keyframe is on actual 0. So it starts on black. There we go. And then what do you know? Look at that simple little cute lower third.
Perfect.
We're just going to do this for now. So here we are. My name, made by Olufemii. So now we're like, okay, I want to be able to.
Josh, we have a good suggestion here coming from the chat. The type on text using the typewriter preset. I know you can just drag and drop those maybe to create something really quick.
Good point. I forgot. It's funny. Adobe actually had our channel create a lot of these presets, and I forgot that they existed. So
good opportunity to bring them right in. Good, really great call there, Reverb Mike.
Shout out to whoever just said that. So let's just put a preset on. Let's just see what this one looks like.
Dropping it on your name, okay.
Okay, so let's just see how this looks like. Ooh, maybe I should take off the, maybe the
it might have messed with the
opacity. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I know what I did. I put the preset on too far in. So let me make sure that my playhead's at the beginning. And then go back. Kind of want another preset though. Let's go to text. And there's so many options now. Animate in.
There's a lot. So these presets help you
opacity flicker in.
Automatically add some effects without having to keyframe too much.
Wow, whoever suggested that, shout out to you. Someone's thinking today.
Reverb Mike suggested that. So good call there.
Reverb Mike?
Yep.
Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Nice. So, and that looks way fancier than an opacity effect,
looks way
but
better
took
than what we were doing before.
Way less time too.
Beautiful. One of our teachers, his name is like Reverb Dave Reverb. So I was like, oh, is it Dave? But it's Mike. That's probably another Mike is probably a sound expert.
Probably.
He probably has a dual skill set.
Okay, that's so handy. Yeah, I mean, I think relying on those presets when you're in a rush and or when you don't want a keyframe is a really handy way to make some quick templates to apply into MOGRTs.
Dope. Cool. Okay. Wow. Perfect. So now that we have that going on, let's go over to, I think it's just the Essential Graphics panel again.
Within After Effects.
Within After Effects this time, same type of deal, but in After Effects. And then what you do is you're going to select the composition that we want, but we only have one option, comp 1. And then we're going to just literally bring, I guess we'll bring the logo in first. Bam.
All right. So now we have a logo. That's now a property in your MOGRT.
Let me explain what we're doing just real quick. I think we have a few seconds. So basically, in the Essential Graphics panel, we're creating a MOGRT. Let's name it lower third. And what we're doing is we're going to transfer this project file, this After Effects project file into a thing, into like a little, it's called a MOGRT that we'll be able to bring into Premiere Pro and actually edit in Premiere Pro. It's crazy. A lot of you guys have probably worked with MOGRTs, but you've never made a MOGRT. making a MOGRT is the easiest thing in the world. So this is how you make it. So we want a project file in Premiere that looks like this and is editable. Well, we can now choose, we have it here. We already created primary, the comp is comp 1 that we want to bring in. Now we're going to create the parameters within the MOGRT that are editable. So first thing that we want to do is we want to do the logo.
So every single element that you drag into this box is now an editable property of this MOGRT.
Exactly. So by dragging this in here, once we use this MOGRT in Premiere, you can add any logo picture, not just the Instagram one. For text, it's a little bit different. Like, so basically you would think, oh, I'm just going to drag the text into here. It doesn't quite work that way. It's going to have this warning, whatever. So what you want to actually do is you want to go into the text, go into source text for whatever reason. I'm sure there's a technical reason why this is the case. And then you drag that source text into here.
Right, because that's the property, not just the layer.
Maybe. Okay, cool. Gotcha. That makes sense then, I think, right? So, and then one thing I always do is I go to edit properties and I want to make sure this is basically just enabling custom font selection, font size, and both styles. I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't know if you know what that is, Fabiola, but basically I want all of the customizable options possible for text when I'm making a MOGRT, and that's going to show up in Premiere. So I can.
If you didn't select that, then the MOGRT wouldn't be editable. Those properties wouldn't be editable when you bring it into Premiere. So that's kind of the differentiator there.
Yes, I guess post style is the whole making things italics, italicized, caps, all that stuff. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do the exact same thing for this one. Source text, bring it in here. And what I want to do actually is I want to bring this up here and I'm going to label this. So I'm going to label this. So this is the actual label that's going to actually be seen in your MOGRT. So I want this to be, I want people to see this as main text. And then I want people to see this as social media handle. Maybe I'll say handle here, right? Let's say social media handle.
That way, anyone who's using this MOGRT in the future knows exactly what elements they are editing.
Exactly. This is just purely cosmetic. So we kind of see what all this is. Cool. So we have these 3 elements that we're going to be able to edit. And now we should be able to just export this out. And as far as the length, what
about setting a poster time? Because right now that thing is black. Just click set poster time. Just click that button. There you go. Now you have a graphic for your MOGRT when it goes to Premiere. If you don't set that, it'll be black. And then when you're scrolling through all your MOGRTs, you won't be able to visually tell what.
I don't think I knew that. Maybe.
I'm sure you did. Your other MOGRTs had it set.
Yeah, I did, but I don't know if actually. Weird. Okay, cool. So mind blown. I'm gonna remember that. So maybe there's like a default that happens because I don't think I've ever actually pressed that. So but it obviously was necessary here. So one other thing, tell me if I'm wrong, the length of the MOGRT is going to be the length of your composition. So it's going to be like a 10-minute MOGRT. Maybe you don't want it to be quite that long. And so what I'm going to do is we'll go into composition settings and we will just make this change the duration like that to make it be 10 seconds instead.
Nice.
There we go.
You want to keep things light if you can.
Yes.
All right, so we've got about 3 minutes left here on this stream, so let's export
this out. White out. I am always not saving my projects in there. Put me on blast now. Cool. So this is actually really cool. You can actually create libraries. I have a liberry for. We'll save it into this library and it'll show up automatically in Premiere.
Toss it anywhere for now.
Toss it anywhere, yeah. Oh, not saved? It's fine. Okay, so let's exit out of After Effects and let's zoom back into Premiere and then let's go into the Essential Graphics panel and let's find our MOGRT. This should be called Lower Thirds. Let's bring this out so we can see everything. Lower thirds, L, L, L. There we go, right
There
here.
it
Lower
is.
third. Look at how beautiful it looks, guys. And wow, we are actually in Premiere.
We're in Premiere, and you brought that MOGRT in. That was, you took an intimidating process and made it nice and easy. We are out of time here, Josh, but thank you so much for showing us how to create a MOGRT out of thin air, you guys. You didn't expect that on this stream, but look, he's just adjusting the position, the scale,
size,
and we are good. So once again, Josh, thank you so much for sharing your workflow with us, teaching us so much about how to edit in Premiere Pro. You showed us how to compose a hooky intro, add audio graphics, make a MOGRT in like 10 minutes. So thank you so much. Everyone, stick around for James Bonanno's stream right after this stream. We'll be back tomorrow with our evangelist for a full day of masterclasses, followed by a new episode of Office Hours with Nick Longo and Andrew Hawkrattle. That's all. Be sure to follow Josh, everyone. Don't forget to follow him and stay tuned for this video. Thanks again, Josh. Thanks again for this amazing stream.
See you guys. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, everyone.